The 1990s saw the birth of technology advancements in the classroom. More affordable, mass-produced hardware products such as video, projectors, MP3, and computers changed the classroom environment. New software programs have changed how literature books can be presented. There was a great deal of conflict about the use of new technology. Many teachers were not comfortable using new technology, and budgets were an issue. Many scholars did recognize the value of this new technology. Many felt that video stimulated students and computers increased student interest and participation. We began to see the use of more vocabulary lists and exercises that covered or expanded on content or visual aids. The World Wide Web changed the way we research and made ideas and sharing of knowledge much easier. The 1990s also brought about changes to curriculums that recognized minority groups. Globalization was making North America more aware of the rest of the world. As new technology came into the classroom, we began to see new teaching methodologies and strategies. There was much discussion about what method was best and most effective in the classroom. One strategy that was very popular was called the communicative methodology. This strategy blended new and old instructional methods together. This resulted in an increase of student-faculty interaction. This new interaction focus brought about improved motivation by both parties. There was an effort to reduce lecture-style teaching. Active learning was another method that promoted student discussion, listening, and reflected as they problem-solved through exercises. During the 1990s, we also saw the emergence of distant learning. Today, educators recognize that computer literacy is a vital part of a student's education. This integration of technology into courses really began in the 1990s. Mary Hanley points out that advocates of teaching the culturally different approach was born in the 1990s. There are 5 overlapping areas of multicultural education. These areas include content integration, knowledge construction, equity pedagogy, prejudice reduction, and tolerance. In the 1990s, we saw many events that influenced politics and the culture of the world. We have the wars in the Yugoslav and Kosovo, the Gulf War, the liberation of Kuwait from Iraq, changes to the Soviet Union, President Clinton and his impact as president, the Defense of Marriage Act of 1996, and also the North American Free Trade Agreement. We also see a change in news coverage, including the White House scandal with Monica Lewinsky. We also see during this time only the second time a president of the United States is to be impeached. These changing political times also had an influence on education. These changes contributed to how we look at the world and prepare youth for their futures. In the 1990s, we saw many changes to literature and books in the 1990s. Children's literature can be defined by the decade of a book series. There were 2 major book series that were developed during this time. The Goosebumps books by R.L. Stine and J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. Stine sold more than 4 million copies a month at the peak of his work. In 1997, J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone quickly became popular with children and adults. As of June of 2008, the book series had sold more than 400 million copies and had been translated into 67 languages. As a summary, the 1990s were trying times with many things happening worldwide. Education was affected by many changes to social trends and politics. Changes were challenged by different groups as new technology and learning styles made their way into the classroom. The effects of the 1990s can still be felt today. Many different teaching strategies were developed and incorporated. The 1990s were a time of self-reflection as different organizations began to look into the faults and promises of teaching styles and theories. The literacy pendulum has continued to swing. Today, as we are facing similar issues that were being discussed in the 1990s, it is clear that education progresses. It will always be influenced by both internal and external factors. So long as the pendulum swings, progress will be made.